All right. So you guys, I'm so excited to introduce Christina to you all. Christina was one of our amazing future professionals, one of my future professionals on phase 2 at Paul Mitchell School of Michigan here in Sterling Heights. And wow, what an amazing career you've had in such a short period of time. And it just makes my heart so happy to see you doing so well and all the things that you're doing. I follow you on social media, but I'm so excited for Christina to share with everybody her story and what she would love to share with you. Take it
Thank
away.
you. So yeah, like Tammy said, I went to Paul Mitchell in the School of Michigan in 2014 through 2015. Tammy was my teacher. Um, and uh, I knew that I wanted to do hair like my whole life. So I went right after I graduated from high school. And I had such a great experience in beauty school at Paul Mitchell. Like it was everything that I thought it was going to be. I was set up, I was ready to go. And then when I graduated, I went and became an assistant at a salon to a stylist who specialized in something that I was not super comfortable with. It was it was out of my comfort zone. When I was in beauty school, I wanted to specialize in bridal hair and makeup. I had a bridal hair and makeup company. And when I started assisting, the stylist that I was assisting specialized in hair extensions and color. And this was totally out of my wheelhouse, but I said, you know what? We'll take it. We'll run with it. We'll see where we go. And that kind of has ended up being like a little bit of a theme through my career. But I ended up loving it. Life was great. He opened a salon that I still work at now to this day. Today's actually our 7-year birthday for the salon. And so I've been here ever since. I'm a color specialist. That's kind of what I built my career on. I got very, very busy. I was very, very lucky and I worked very hard. It was a combination of both. I'm going to be very honest. Good opportunities, being in the right place at the right time, but all in all, and I worked very hard. And so at my 5-year mark, I was able to close my books. I no longer took new clients. I was at my capacity. And that really gave me some freedom to kind of, again, dive into something new, take a leap, see where that took me. And something that really I really enjoy doing outside of physically doing hair, but still within the beauty community. I really just enjoy teaching. I really enjoy teaching people. And something that I found that I really knew a lot about, that not a lot of other people knew about, or something that was really eye-opening to a lot of stylists that I would talk to, was about business, was about the concept of being business-minded, financial planning, goal setting, things like that. I think that when I started telling people, it only took me 5 years to build completely my business to capacity. They were like, how did you do that? I said, I planned for it. I planned to do that. And so obviously, people were like, tell me more about that. And so I realized that the more that I worked with people, and the more that I coached stylists who were building their careers, I noticed that, you're in school and this is a hard journey. It's a lot. It's a lot for you to take on. It's a really hard 1 to 2 years. And when you're done, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm finally done. And now I can go do hair and everything will be great. And that does happen for a lot of people. And that's awesome. But what I found was at that 3 to 5 year mark, people were like, it's been the same. It's been the same. And I feel like I've hit this threshold where I can't make more. I can't get busier. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what to do. And I introduced this concept to people where I asked them, well, are you running your business or are you building your business? And they kind of look at me and I explain, and I want you guys to think of it like this. When you talk about, are you running your business or are you building your business? Think about kind of running your business. Think about it like you're on a treadmill. You're running, but you're not going anywhere different. Right? You're going to be in the same place, no matter if you crank it up to 10 and you're sprinting as hard as you can, the harder you work, you're still in the same place. You're still going to end up in the same place. That's running the business. That's what we talk about when we're coming in, we're punching out, we're doing the same foil placement, we're posting the same things. That's running our business. We're not going anywhere. Now, when we talk about building our business, I want you to kind of think about it like building a business or building a skyscraper where you start at the ground. And every time, the more work you do, the higher up it goes, right? We're building on top of something. And so when I introduced that concept to people of, are you running your business or are you building your business? A lot of people were kind of surprised because they felt like they were doing work and that, work equals doing more, right? But not necessarily. There's different kinds of work. And so when I decided I was going to write my book, The Growth Method, which I'll introduce in a minute, but when I decided I was going to write my book, I really wanted to make sure that I made a product or I made a resource that could keep people on the track of building their business, because it's really easy to fall into the same patterns. If you've been in the running mindset for three to 5 years, that's going to be where you kind of default to. And so I wanted to make sure that I first provided a resource to people to help keep them on a productive business plan. The next thing that I kind of noticed about people who are struggling to build their businesses or to cross a certain threshold with their business was finances, and business literacy is really scary to a lot of people in the beauty industry, I think, especially. And I mean, independent suites are so incredibly popular, and they're so profitable, and they're such a great business model for you. But I think people kind of forget, like, you're running a whole business. That's all you. And it's really scary to a lot of people in this industry when this is such like a creative type B artist field where we just wanted to, come in and make pretty things. And, money isn't quite as pretty of a concept, or return on investment isn't as pretty of a word as balayage is. And so people are scared of things that they don't know a lot about. It's hard to be not good at something, or it's hard to be the new person learning something new, or coming into a room with the least amount of knowledge or history in it. And I didn't want that to be the thing that held people back from having such a great experience, or the great experience that they could have in this industry. I've had a really great experience. My business is exactly what I dreamed it would be. And I really love that. And I think everybody can do that. I think everybody should be able to do that. And I wanted to create a support system and a resource to make sure that everybody felt comfortable and confident talking about money, talking about business, learning what these terms mean, integrating them into their day-to-day life, and, just being more confident running a business, because that's, at the end of the day, that's what you're doing. You're doing it for money. You're getting paid to do it. So the more confident and comfortable you are in a business setting, the more opportunities you'll have to create the art that you're creating, right? If you have no clients in your share, you cannot do any hair. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but that sounded really funny. So yeah, I mean, all in all, to kind of close that out, really, like, I really love this industry. Like I said, I had a great experience in school. I had a great experience assisting. I had a great experience building. I had a lot of resources and support, and a lot of people don't. And there's so many different avenues that you can take with your business now. You can go into a suite. You can go into independent. You can go commission. You can work at a chain. There's so many different things that you can do. You can travel and just do weddings. That's anything that you wanted. So I wanted to create a resource that was really designed for everybody to benefit from and create whatever they saw their vision for success as behind the chair or in the beauty industry. So everybody else could have as much fun as I had, because I had a great time. And I think we all deserve to have a great time. I don't like the idea that, like, it's just grind and you're just making ends meet. Like, no, you should be having fun. This is a fun career. This is a fun thing to be able to do. And I really wanted everyone to have fun and to just feel supported, build a community, make sure everybody felt empowered and really capable. But yeah, this is my book. After all of that, this is my book. It's called The Growth Method Planner. So that's a 360-day financial planner that's designed for all types of beauty industry professionals. So whether you are a hairstylist, an esthetician, if you specialize in waxing, if you do braiding, protective hairstyles, literally anything you can think of. If you're commission, if you're independent, if you are a little bit of both, it will support any kind of business and any kind of goal. It is designed to track your finances, your earnings. It's also going to help you establish goals throughout the year, quarter, month, weeks, breaks it all down for you, makes it very, very easy. But then there's also a lot of activities that will build your business mindset. It'll help you organize your social media. There is a whole list in the back to keep information about your clients, like formulas. This is like the only thing you need to come into work with every single day. I just had one of my stylists who works with me at my salon tell me she just finished her last year's. Not only did she complete her goal, she was $15,000 over. 15,000 extra dollars just from using a book. It was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So yeah, this is my book. I'm happy to answer any questions, anything anybody wants to talk about. I'm a really, really open book on pretty much anything.
No pun intended, open book. I'm with you because any author is a friend of mine, because it is really hard to write a book because you want it where somebody actually reads it and uses it. So kudos to you. I'm so proud. I'm just smiling from ear to ear and so proud of you, especially because you're a graduate. And you're exactly the reason why we started leadership clubs in the Paul Mitchell schools, because I felt that, and we just started these a couple of years ago, by the way. And then this year we just started having people come in and speak so that students could feel comfortable asking questions to some mentors out there, and also to be able to connect with you on social media as well too. So before I ask you my first question, and I want to have Sarasota, Fort Myers, and Michigan ask some questions as well too. But the question that I have for you is, what is your social media handle so everyone can follow you right now?
Yeah, so it's at Ginger Snap Styling. And then the planner Instagram is at the Growth Method Planner. So Ginger Snap Styling and then at the Growth Method Planner. I think the Growth Method Planner is like in my bio of Ginger Snap Styling. Ginger Snap Styling was actually it was really funny that I worked at a salon for 2 weeks right after I got out of school. That was not a good experience. And somebody told me she didn't care enough about me to learn my name. So she was just going to call me Ginger Snap. And I was like, you know what? I like it.
So it's stuck. That's awesome.
I can't change it now.
That's amazing. I love it. And so as far as like getting the book, does that also include where they could do one-on-one coaching with you as well? What is your process?
So the book is self-driven, self-paced. So that's something that you would fill out on your own. However, I do offer individual one-on-one coaching in a subscription setting. And so it's once a month, we'll meet, we have a 1-hour meeting, and I kind of do the book with you, but then I bounce ideas, off of each other. Any kind of troubleshooting one-on-one that you want to do with me is totally fine. But I also answer like every single DM I've ever gotten ever. So if there's just like a one-off situation and you want to ask me something, slide in.
And I can attest to that because I DM'd you and said, we need you on here. You're exactly who we need, because I love having people that are fresh in the business. I mean, fresh, it's been 7 years, not that fresh, but it's fresh to me because I've been in it for 25 years. And also now the industry is moving, and you hit the nail on the head towards a lot of the students while they're in school thinking, oh, I think I want to have my own independent business and salon suite. But then they get nervous once they start getting in. Like I'm coaching someone right now, and her rent is so high. And I just like, I don't know how we're going to break even, but we got to get to break even. So I'm trying to coach her through that process. So, and then I'm also helping a learning leader in a Paul Mitchell school. I think it's in Tulsa. I forget what state it is, set up her salon business. But what I'm having her do is do a business plan first. So when I sit down with students right now, because I meet with a lot of the phase 2 students, Christina, I try to help them build their own business plan before they even step foot into doing an independently ran business versus, going commission's different because you can learn as you go, and, you're working with a salon owner that's going to help you, but running your own business right out of school, like that just makes me get hyped because I'm like, oh no, okay, let's do a business plan. So can you kind of walk through like what would be the first few steps while they're in school to start this business plan besides getting your book? Because that's going to be the first step, right?
I would definitely, I mean, I would think about just what your vision is, what, and not vision in the sense of like, what kind of wallpaper do you want and what kind of aesthetic I'm talking about. What do you envision your work, your business to be in 10 years? You know, what do you eventually hope to grow into? What are you looking for? Really like bare bones. Like, are you looking for something that's part-time? Are you looking for full-time? We really break it down. And I think that makes things a lot more digestible too. I think it makes it not so scary. So I would think about kind of like, what are you hoping to do in the next 5 years? What does that look like to you? And then kind of take those subsections, like, okay, 1 year, what am I hoping to do? 2 years, what am I hoping to do? 3 years, what am I hoping to do? Then once you've kind of broken it down into that, okay, we need to figure out our, what we need to be making per year, per quarter, per month, per week, to make sure not only that you survive, but that you can go to your 5-year goal, right? That way you don't end up habitually running, that you start building from the first portion of it. So yeah, I actually tell people when I interview people, because I interview and hire the assistants at my salon, I tell people, I want you, when you're done with school, take a month and I want you to sit in it, and I want you to visualize like what's happening, where are you going to go? That way, when you start, you really kind of have that renewed kind of energy, because like I said, when you're in school, it's hard, it's a lot, and you want to just like be done with it. You're not done. You're not even close to done. So to prepare yourself for a new adventure, I think. And that's hard sometimes for people to realize. It's like, oh man, there's more. Yeah, there's a lot, but once you know what it is, it's less scary and it's more exciting. It's kind of like when you know what you got for Christmas, but it's wrapped and you can't open it yet.
That's perfectly said. I know I'm going to have Tammy take over on the Q&A portion of this whole thing. We'll start with Sterling Heights asking the first question too, but I love the fact that you said the vision isn't just about the wallpaper, because I think that's what it has come to, because I watch, a lot of graduates, look at my salon, look at how beautiful it is. And I'm like, oh no.
And that's the fun part. That's really fun, but like, and ROIs and taxes and 1099s, it's not that fun, but it's so important. And you can't do the fun stuff unless you do the not fun stuff. But I wanted to make a really digestible way to do the not fun stuff.
Yeah. And I love that you make it more fun, make it colorful, make it fun. Thank you, Christina. Okay, Tammy, take it away, girl.
All right. Thank you, Christina. Thank you, Tina. We do have some questions here in Michigan. So whoever would like to start. This is Danny.
Hi.
Hi, Danny.
Hi. Where can we purchase your book?
So it's available. The website is thegrowthmethodplanner.com. And under the shop page, it's right there. And yeah, if you're in Michigan, you'll get it in like tomorrow.
Okay.
Any others? Christina, I have one for you. What would be the biggest piece of advice? Like, I know your journey in school from my perception of it, and I think that you took like the biggest advantage of school out of any of the future professionals that I've seen in my career. So what would you say would be the number one thing that you feel that future professionals should focus on daily in school, like with building their clientele and that type of thing?
I think that if I think back to what I was really focused on in school, I was really focused on doing what I had to do so I could do the things that I wanted to do. I got my MPAs done. I got all those things that I needed to do so that I could do the fun stuff that I wanted to do. I also took advantage of, not necessarily, I didn't do all the things that were like I didn't do Dean's List, and that's not because I didn't think it was cool. It just didn't like super appeal to me, but I did do, I went to Beacon, and that was the coolest experience ever. And it actually had me build my first website. And I don't think if I had not built that first website when I was in school, I don't even think I would be doing what I'm doing now, because I won and it was really cool. And I got to go to Vegas and I got to meet all these people. It was really, really cool. But I had a lot of fun doing it. And I realized like, oh, like I can like do this. That's like cool. And so really again, kind of think about what you enjoy, be open to new things. But kind of, this is the first step in your this is mini career. This isn't extended high school or college. I think that was something that I noticed a lot about my peers, was like, it was a lot of, you know, I think I actually said in my graduation speech that I didn't come here to make friends, and that probably sounded so silly, but like, really, I was here to do a practice version of my job. I wasn't here to do, yeah, I did make friends, but you know, I saw it as kind of preparing for what I was going to be doing for the rest of that. I was pretty professional about it. I really put the professional in future professional.
Yeah, I totally agree. I do remember your speech when you graduated, and it does stay in my mind because it's so true. You were here to be focused and to grow and to learn, and you had a good time. I know that you did. And yeah, I just appreciate you being here. So anybody else? Here we go.
Hi, Christina.
Hi.
Hi. So how long did you assist for once you finished school? And then from there, how long did it take you? Did you go on your own? I'm trying to say, so from school you assisted. So how long was that? And then did you start building, assisting like your clientele and then your business plan and?
Yes, I'll break it down. So I graduated from school and I went into assisting. I think I maybe took like 2 or 3 months off where I kind of like bounced around, but then I started assisting. I was an assistant for a little over a year. While I was an assistant, I would take some clients. I wasn't taking a ton of clients, but I would take some clients. But I had my business where I did wedding hair outside of being an assistant. So I would have a lot of weekends where I would go do weddings on my own. And I think that was really helpful to me because I didn't have this, I was always kind of operating my own kind of thing, but I was still learning. And so I got to see a little bit of both. And I would highly recommend it. I tell my assistants, if you want to do stuff outside of here, if you want to build your own thing while you're learning from me, I support that 100%. So I was an assistant for about a year, maybe a little over. And then I started at the salon that we had been working at the time. I was only behind the chair at that salon for maybe like 3 months before we opened Aesthetic, where I work now. And so I came into Aesthetic when it was a brand new salon, nobody, not a client. And I remember I had a new car. I got a new car and I was so excited about it. And my car payment, I will never forget, it was $346. This was 2017, but it was $346. And I was like, okay, I have to make this car payment. Like that's all I needed was I had to make the car payment. So I had one thing that pushed me and drove me to make sure. And my boss also had a rule that we had to have at least one client in the chair. That was it. That was what we had to do. And so I've really always kind of been building my career on goals, on, okay, I just have to do this. I just have to do this. And then it would be like the next step up from that and the next step up from that. We have something at Aesthetic called the 100,000 Club, where if you earn $100,000, you get to go on a free vacation. And so once I had, okay, I was paying my car payment and then I had one client in every day. Then I was like, okay, I want to be in the 100K club. Then when I was in the 100K club, I was like, cool, I want to make a 200K club. Took me a few years. I did that. Once I hit 200K, we closed my books. And then I was kind of able to see what inspired me outside of just, building and doing hair.
Very nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's go to Sarasota. What do you guys have for questions for Christina?
Hi, hello. We got some questions. Hi. What was your biggest struggle in school for you?
In school, I still to this day don't like to do men's haircuts. I don't actually currently offer them, but I didn't like doing them in school either. I think I remember in school, I went to school with Hannah DiPuccio, who works at one of Tina's salons now. I think she owns it, right? And Hannah was the girl who got all the colors and I was the girl and I got all of the styles. And I like capitalized on like, I'm really good at styles. So just give me that. And I think she did that too. I remember it vividly. And so struggle service wise, don't like cutting in general. Not my specialty. Struggle outside of that wise, I would say that I think I felt a lot of times like I was maybe ready to be done. Maybe I was like, okay, I'm so over this. I'm so over this, and I just want to be done. And then when I was done, I was like, oh, this is real now. Okay. So I think maybe being a little bit fatigued. I do tend to hold myself to a little bit too high of a standard, but that's, I think, just my personality. So maybe, yeah, outside of physically doing hair, being just fatigued on the journey, but I think everybody goes through that. And no matter whether you're operating at a really high capacity or something that's lower, if you're giving 100%, if your 100% is going to look different than mine, but if we're all giving 100%, there's probably a time where we're all going to get fatigued a little, and it happens. So having like a resource to kind of fall back onto, or like a reason why you need to keep going, will get you through it. But yeah, and short haircuts are not my gig.
Love it. Thank you. Question. So I'm the core leader here in Sarasota. But I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What are some best practices for the future professionals to start kind of marketing themselves toward their ideal clientele right now?
Yeah. So marketing yourself, and especially towards the ideal clientele, is a great way to not end up fatigued. Like I said, it happens, but you're going to get really fatigued if you keep, running and running and running and you're not getting anywhere. Marketing to an ideal client is the best way to market, because who here has like been influenced when you're on TikTok and you're like, oh, I need that. It's because you were marketed directly to. It's great. Like, I found one of my favorite things by being marketed directly to, being influenced. So the first thing that I would want you to do is figure out who your ideal client is, what that looks like to you. And it might shift. Maybe every year you might need to take an inventory of, has my ideal client shifted? Mine has. When I was 20 years old, my ideal client was a girl who was in college, who was going to go tell all her friends at the sorority that she loved her hair. She's not my ideal client now. So it will shift. Figure out who that person is, and then figure out, and I say this to people when I'm coaching them a lot, if that ideal client, you're very lucky if your ideal client is similar to you, because what would make you want to buy something? What would influence you to make an appointment, to say, oh, I need that? So you're very lucky if it's somebody that's similar to you. If it's not someone similar to you, find your ideal client, maybe one of them, somebody who you have a really good relationship with, and say, like, think about what's really important to them. What do they look for? What do they shop for? What makes them say yes? What inspires them? And that's a really good way to kind of virtually connect with them.
Love it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I think Kate in Fort Myers, or all of you guys in Fort Myers, if you guys have any questions, we have time, of course.
Yeah, we got a question here.
I have a question. How long did it take you to build your book up to that point where you closed it?
Like my book of clients behind the chair.
How long did it take you to build those clients?
I started at Aesthetic in 2017, and we closed the books in 2021. I think how many years is that? I wrote a book all about, I wrote math twice, and I wrote a book about math, but it's 2019, 17, 4 years. Yeah. It was really fast. It was very fast.
I just have to say, because I know Haley and Hunter, so I've seen your journey from afar. So yeah, I taught them at Great Lakes. So
oh my God. Yeah. I'm marrying another hairstylist that I work with. That's fun.
Did you build your salon up, or did you buy it previously put together?
So I'm actually not an owner of my salon. I say my salon just because I work here, and I do kind of I emotionally own it, but I don't actually own it. But I didn't I don't own it, but when the salon was built by the owners of the salon, it was previously a salon. They did not have to renovate the major things. I can say, and I think they'd be okay with me saying this because it's like pretty common knowledge. They got, the three of them, there's three owners, they split it three ways, and they got a loan for $100,000. And that was what they started the salon with. They got very lucky. It was already built out with shampoo bowls, but they rent the space and then, yeah, started it with a loan.
Awesome answers. Thank you so much, Christina. And you guys, if you have any other questions for Christina, I know that she'd be happy to connect with you through her socials or whatnot. I do have Christina's planner coming, so I'm so excited to be able to share that with all of you as well. And Christina, we got to get you into our schools. I've really enjoyed having you, and I'm so proud of you. So dang proud of you, girl.
Thank you. Thank you guys. Yeah, if anybody has any questions or wants to connect with me, you can DM me. I answer all of them.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you, Christina.
Thanks. Have the rest of your day, everybody.
Thank you,
everyone.
Bye.